Hey folks, it's me. It's your pal Stu. Let's talk about the Slop Singularity. I wrote an article about this over on Substack, so I'm going to make a video about it so that I have both. So what is the Slop Singularity? It's basically the point where everything is AI. Everything on the internet will just be AI generated, and we won't have anything that is real. At least it will be such a small percentage of the whole that we probably won't be able to easily find it. And that's because as long as it's cheaper to make AI content than real content, like relative to expected returns, users are going to generate it without limit. And so over time, the percentage of AI content relative to the whole will approach 100%. It won't reach it because we have all this pre-AI content that's just still going to be hanging around, but it will be such a gigantic, overwhelming quantity of AI content that for all intents and purposes, it will be completely AI generated. Nothing will be real on the internet. The internet will be a completely fake place where nothing has been actually made by humans. That is a pretty dark thing to think about, but I think there'll be some interesting human responses to that. And there might be a couple things that might put the brakes on that as well. So, the reason that happens is that as long as it's easier to make a piece of content with AI versus to make it for real, people are going to choose AI. And they're going to make as many of the AI things as they have time to make them, or they can automate. They will just make them without limit because even if they generate almost nothing. So like if you imagine you make a really good piece of content and it generates $100. Okay. Or, let's say instead of thinking of dollars, let's think of views. Like you work hard, you make a cool piece of content, it generates 10,000 views. So it generates a good, man, that's good. And it takes you, let's say it takes you 2 hours to make that content, to like come up with the idea and maybe script it and maybe edit it. Maybe you're really good at that. It takes 2 hours. Well, if you can make 20 videos with AI in that time and those videos get, 500 views, it's just as easy to make the AI videos. And in fact, if you can automate them, then maybe you could make 100 AI videos. And maybe those 100 AI videos get way fewer views. Maybe they get 100 views. As long as it costs you less time or less money to make those 100 videos versus the one real video, you're just going to make the AI videos. Users are going to make them infinitely. They'll make them basically without limit. There's a limit to the amount of time that you have to do work and make real content. But if you're just automating it on a computer, the limit is pretty far out there. You can prompt pretty fast. I certainly can. I can get a lot of stuff prompted really quick. And so because it's just much cheaper to make it with a computer, then people are uploading that over time. The percentage relative to the whole rises and rises and rises. I saw that maybe already around 50% of web pages are generated by AI. You also will get this recursion problem that happens where the AI is referencing other things that the AI has made. And so after a while, not only are the pages made by AI, the pages are made by AI whose training data was other AI made things. And so the reliability or the accuracy of that data will be completely dubious. So being able to use the internet to find other people, to find real work that they've done will be effectively impossible at the Singularity. And your ability to find true information will be effectively impossible because you can't trust anything that an AI says. And so how will we respond to this AI singularity? That's a really good question. It's one that I don't have all the answers to. But I can tell you what I've been doing in anticipating that, which is I have been doing more live things. That is to say, my music has been recorded live. I wrote a whole book live on stream. I'm going to be crowdfunding that book this year in 2026. So look forward to that. That'll be The Prince of Dusk. I don't know who I'll get to do the cover. I'm thinking I'll have Jesse White do the cover again because if he's willing to do it, I haven't asked him. I should ask him. Will you do a cover for me? Because people like the cover of King Leper so much, and it would just be great to have more of his art on my books. I think it's so good. And here's some of it right here. This is Jesse's art right here. These are some originals he did for a comic called Deus Vult. Anyway, So over time, it just becomes impossible to know if you're getting true information off the internet. It becomes impossible to find people. Everything is so fake. So you respond by going away from that. You do things that are out in the real world. So I could take the live music that I've been doing on my other channel, linked down below, the David V. Stewart's Zool channel. I could go out and do that live somewhere. Maybe I'll put together some jazz standards, some jazz songs with my wife, who's a vocalist. We'll go out and perform those things live. So maybe you'll see me at a cafe somewhere playing live music. So doing it live, human to human, we're in the same room, you're watching me do it live, I'm improvising something live that's never been heard before. Everything is new, and it's about the energy of the moment and human beings being with each other. That to me is my response to the singularity, is we just go away from what's fake. We go away from the overwhelming waves of slop. We go to a place where the slop can't get to us, which is going to be in the real world. So I think that'll be a response. And even if the brakes are put on the total amount of AI content somehow, and there's a couple things that I think will put the brakes on it, kind of slow it down, we're still going to want to find more of those authentic experiences. I think people are going to really crave more authentic live experiences, whether that is going to a real bookstore and seeing a real book on a shelf. That's also going to be a kind of filter and vetting, like the publisher actually printing a book. It's not AI slop, right? Hopefully, right? So they're putting their stamp of approval on it. A real human editor has hopefully touched the book, and so you have some guarantee that you have a real human product. Having that stamp of approval from an editor, as my friend Brian Niemeyer has pointed out, that's going to be like an important element. It's going to be like the Nintendo seal of quality. It's like a human has actually interacted with this product. It's not just generated computer crap. So I think we'll be gravitating more towards physical spaces to avoid the just overwhelming fakeness of the internet. Yeah, it's pretty funny the first time you see an AI video of a cat attacking a bear or something, but then there's 10,000 of those videos because, again, users will make it without limit. That's not entertaining anymore. It's not original. The first mover is always the one that's going to make that's going to have the advantage over it. So what could put the brakes on it? Well, I think the first one is actually storage space. YouTube stores a lot of videos, and I think it's really staggering the amount of video that they store basically for free. Anyone can upload a video and they have it on their servers, on their hard drives, on their hardware, and they are using their resources to distribute it to people that want to watch it. It's a huge amount of free service that YouTube gives away to people. So maybe the free part has to go away. If you have to pay to upload, like there's been other sites where you kind of have to pay to upload. If you have to pay to upload, that'll put the brakes on it. Nobody's going to upload unless they have a good reason to upload. Like, it's something they really care about other people seeing, or they really think they're going to make money on it. So all of a sudden, the overwhelming, the comparison of like, it's easier to make 100 crappy AI videos, even if they get like 1/10 the views, I'll be coming out 10 times ahead. I'll be coming out way ahead making 100 slop videos. All of a sudden that calculation doesn't work because you have to have a minimum threshold in order to make money with your content. Putting out 100 slop videos that get 100 views is just not going to cut it. It's much better to have one video with 10,000 views, and will just completely change the economic game if users have to have some skin in the game for the cost of hosting their content. That'll change the game really quickly. That's probably one of the biggest ways that you can reduce the amount of AI crap. There's still going to be some, but because the risk reward all of a sudden shifts more towards there's a much higher risk when you put something online. I think people are going to do it a lot less. I think people will still produce their videos that they feel like they want people to see, that they feel like are important. They'll still distribute educational videos to YouTube that they're using for their college classes or things like that, and not worry about the fact that it costs them $5 to upload it or something like that. They'll be okay with that. And the result is we won't have nearly as much AI crap. So, you may also have platforms attempt to do more moderation of AI. I don't have a lot of confidence in automated moderation of AI content. I just don't. I think it's such a quickly evolving. It's not that quickly evolving now, but like it's such an evolving technology, and I feel like the confidence interval for an AI detecting another AI is not going to be that high. So I think those tools that maybe they'll get good at using them though. There might be false positives that people will obviously complain about, and that'll be something that we'll have to deal with. But if there is actual AI content moderation, that'll put the brakes on this, because I hope the people that are running social media sites and maybe are just thinking about the internet in general, I'm hoping they will understand that like the slop singularity will destroy the internet as we know it and destroy the ability to make profit off the internet because users are going to leave. They want that authentic experience. The whole thing about like liking a streamer, liking a personality on YouTube or on X or wherever is that it's a person, that you get to interact with. It's a person that, you can write your insulting comments down in the comment section. I'll see them, or you can troll me on X or quote tweet me, tell me that somebody said I looked like a combination of, I don't remember what it was. It was really funny though. A combination of this guy and that guy, and you can make fun of me. The opportunity to do that is because that's a real person. You're not going to quote tweet a clanker because the clanker has no feelings. You can't insult him. You can't compliment him. You can't have a conversation. You could have the semblance of a conversation with him, but it's not real. You're not going to get any kind of good feeling about that. Like I'm really talking to a person and I'm maybe making a little friend here or things like that. So people want those authentic experiences. And I think AI has the opportunity to destroy that. And these platforms are going to have to do something about it. I would say for video hosting, because it's so expensive, the easiest thing would be, hey, if you want to upload in, maybe your account has to be so big and be generating so many views to upload in 4K. Because that might save space, or it might be a thing that like you have to pay to upload certain kinds of content, and that'll put the brakes on that big time. But anyway, leave me your thoughts down below on the Slop Singularity. I think it has the ability to really destroy the internet. We'll have search will be dead, social media will be dead. We'll have to find more human ways to interact. We'll have to go look up actual reference books at the library and read them and look at sources, and we'll have to interact with each other, and we'll have to create more live music. And maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe that'll produce a kind of a human renaissance that will spur new creativity as we get out of go from the corporate era being put into the grave by the slop era, the corporate era of making, consumer focused, lowest common denominator products. AI will bury that, and then we'll have to get back to like more unique and interpersonal special experiences. We'll have the craft brew of social media by going to the cafe and playing jazz for each other. But leave me your thoughts down below. I'd love to read them. And don't forget to grab a book, check out my Patreon, and support me as I am working on some new music. And of course, subscribe to my music channel down below and enjoy my interesting improvisational music recorded live. Check you all next time.